The neon sign of the Baltimore Beauty Academy hummed, casting a pink glow over Kiara's station. At 22, Kiara was a head-turner medium-built with curves that carried herself with Baltimore pride, flawless brown skin, and hair that changed styles every 2 weeks just to showcase her talent. Kiara was a West Baltimore girl through and through, but she had a solid foundation. Her mother, Linda, was a no-nonsense middle school vice principal who wore pressed pantsuits and spoke in a tone that could quiet a cafeteria in seconds. Her father, Marcus, had been driving for the MTA for 20 years. He knew every pothole, every shortcut, and every face in the city. They had mapped out Kiara's life with the precision of a transit schedule. Graduate cosmetology school, work at Towson Town Center, and eventually open her own spot. And Kiara was well on her way. She could do a silk press that lasted through August humidity, and her custom lace fronts were already famous on Instagram. She had the drive, the talent, and the savings. Then came Trey. The collision. It happened on a rainy Tuesday on Pennsylvania Avenue. Kiara was rushing out of a beauty supply store, balancing 3 boxes of expression braiding hair, when her heel caught on a crack in the pavement. The boxes went flying. Before they could hit the puddles, a pair of pristine, uncreased white Air Force Ones stepped into her field of vision. Large, heavily rings-adorned hands scooped up the boxes. "You dropped these, beautiful. Can't have the tools of the trade getting wet," a smooth voice said. Kiara looked up into a pair of sharp hazel eyes. This was Trey. He had an easy, dangerous charm that practically radiated off him. He wore a designer tracksuit, a heavy gold chain, and a smile that suggested he knew exactly how handsome he was. Trey was a street hustler. Everyone in the neighborhood knew he ran the corners around North and Penn, making fast money the hard way. Kiara knew better. Her mother's voice echoed in her head. Stay away from boys with no payroll stubs. But when Trey smiled and asked if he could walk her to her car, her feet forgot how to walk away. 2 different worlds. Within a month, Trey had turned Kiara's world upside down. He didn't just court her, he spoiled her. He bought her the expensive Italian shears she'd been eyeing, took her to dinners where they didn't look at the prices, and, most importantly, he listened to her. When she talked about her dream salon, Kiara's crown and oasis, his eyes lit up. "You're gonna get it, too," Trey told her one night, leaning against his tinted Infiniti. "And when you do, I'm buying the building for you." But fast money comes with a heavy shadow. Kiara started noticing the way Trey constantly scanned the perimeter of every restaurant they entered. The 3 different cell phones that buzzed in his pockets, and the sudden, tense conversations he'd have in whispers. Kiara finally brought Trey home for Sunday dinner. The tension in the dining room was thicker than her mother's gravy. Marcus sat at the head of the table, still wearing his MTA uniform shirt, his eyes locked onto Trey's diamond watch. Linda sat straight-backed, treating Trey less like a guest and more like a student caught skipping class. "So, Trey," Linda said, setting her fork down with a sharp clink, "Kiara tells us you're an independent entrepreneur. What exactly is your business model?" Trey cleared his throat, trying to use his charm. "I handle logistics, Ms. Linda. Distribution, networking around the city. I keep my hands in a few different pots." Marcus snorted into his sweet tea. "Logistics? Is that what they call standing on the corner of North Avenue all night now? Son, I drive the 85 bus line. I see you. I see the company you keep. Daddy, please," Kiara pleaded, her cheeks burning. "No, Kiara," Linda interrupted, her vice principal voice locking the room down. "We raised you to value hard work, structure, and peace of mind. A man who lives in the shadows cannot offer you peace. He offers you a fast life and an early widowhood. We do not approve of this." Trey's jaw tightened. He respected Kiara enough not to raise his voice in her parents' house, but the pride in his eyes flared. "With all respect, Mr. and Mrs. Harrison, I take care of what's mine. Kiara will never want for anything, except a guarantee that you'll come home alive at night," Marcus said coldly. The dinner ended in a bitter silence. When Trey left, the house erupted. Her parents gave her an ultimatum. It was either their support and her future, or the boy from the streets. That night, Kiara sat in her bedroom, looking at the vision board she had made for her salon. She was caught between two powerful forces: the honest, hard-working legacy of the parents who had shielded her from the city's dangers, and the fierce, intoxicating love of a man who promised to give her the world on a silver platter. Kiara knew she had a choice to make. She had the brains, the beauty, and the hustle in her own right, but she had to decide what kind of foundation she wanted to build her empire on.